this is, I really don't do this at this time of day, but it's a couple of things I kind of wanted to just do, so I'm doing it. Oh, there we go. Okay, I need to make sure I can still see when people ask questions. So why not continue? Whatever. So anyway, let me see if I can move this up. There we go. Alright. It happens, right? So yeah, like I said, I usually don't do anything at this time as far as I just don't do it. I usually start them at nighttime. But I just kind of wanted to say those things. And when I want to talk about, I want to talk about Max B. Now, Max B he never was a person that got to make it mainstream, but he's definitely one of the people who is the reason why music sound like it sound right now. So if you don't know, if you're not familiar with Max B, you know, we got French Montana, you know, he's out, but that's how he got on. Max B is how, French Montana is how Max B put him on, right? And they was doing all these mixtapes. I mean, mixtapes after mixtape. They had shit called Wavy Crockett, all kind of way out names, and the shit sound goofy when you hear the names, but Max B could actually get down. He was doing, I don't want to say what Drake do when it comes to singing and stuff now, but it is like, it's kind of like that, but more rough. And well, let me play one of his songs, like this song right here. This is like 2009, right? So what he was doing was, he was really doing like how people did mixtapes back in the day. They take a sample, loop that shit, boom, and they run it. That's what they do. That's how it used to be done. Nowadays, mixtape is really people's album. It's like if your album flopped, then you just say, oh, it was a mixtape. Dog, that was your album. You picked 15 songs on this shit. You ain't got that many rounds. That was your album. That wasn't your mixtape. It wasn't like loose bars you had, you know. But whatever. That's, you know, these people nowadays, man, they're so funny, like all the way around, you know. It's just like people born at a certain time and just started making fun of people. I don't know. But this is French Montana. And you hear that sound, what he's doing, this is in 2008, 2009. And he got some earlier stuff too. But I want you to hear his verse. And you will understand like how he get on with it. Those kid niggas swaggin' in y'all pause.
me. Nigga dick me, come hold me, hold me. Pussy from the back, tell me nigga it was good. I'm just so tuned in the hood, got you niggas sitting back, stuck on stupid. Couldn't get the instrumental, so fuck it, I looped it.
Exactly. Exactly. That's Max B's flow. Now, you might be a little bit more familiar with some of the stuff he did with Jim Jones and the whole Dipset / Bird Gang / Purple Gang and all that shit that they came up with when it was hot. A lot of that sound was really Max B. A lot of that buzz you got, all that stuff you probably liked was really Max B. It wasn't Jimmy, because Jimmy really didn't do anything. Like, Jimmy ain't got no flows or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So Jimmy was more like, he had character. He had, he was a charismatic person. He had style to him and stuff like that. But when it came down to bars and shit, like, I'll show you some. Let's go to this song. Imagine we got a song called. What happened? What happened? This guy is keeping interviewed before. This is something like some of his lighthearted stuff. And you can hear what he's doing. And when you hear Max B, you can start to understand what groups like ASAP would come after him. It's a lot of those New York groups that came after Max B that were using that sound. And he doesn't get a lot of credit. Mainly because of his pussy. Weird shit. It's like a setup. I guess they set up a dude to rob a dude or something like that. And when he left, he went down, he had 75 years, they dropped it to now 20 years. So that's where he at. He still tried to do some music, but it just didn't work out that much. And this is the type of sound that Max B had. Let me show you another one from him. This should be a popular one. This one my favorite one. Don't be Diego. And it's, you'll see him go right back into his harmony. You guys like the first one? Yes, this is the type of stuff. This is his sound. And like I said, you hear a lot of people doing it, but you rarely hear people give him credit for it. It's kind of messed up, but mainly because he never really came out with an album. All the stuff you hear from him is all mixtape stuff. You don't hear it's nothing that officially came out. Jimmy, they pretty much shelved him, took his style, shelved him, and they had a feud, and but if you actually got into it, it's like he can get in. I'm not saying. Oh my God. they about that shit, like that old 7, 8, and 9 shit that was out. Motherfuckers snapping. That was horrible music. Horrible music. And I know a lot of y'all listen to that shit. Like, I never liked it. I can get on with Max B though. This one is he called himself Big and Velvet. Like Biggie and Mac is Velvet, Big and Velvet. And this is the type of stuff Max B would do, be off the wall. And you think like, yeah, that shit sound corny, or you like, nah. But then you like, okay, you know, you just gotta give people a chance. It's kind of messed up though, because, like I said, Max B had a lot of talent. He was the type of person where you hear stories about people not writing and just going in and knocking shit out. Max B was that type of artist where on the spot he coming up with the harmony, boom, 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 cut it, let's get it done. He was actually that type of artist. And you know, I'm not saying he made great music or nothing like that, but what I am saying is he doesn't get credit for the evolution of music from and what he added, his contribution. And most of that is because, number one, he never came out with an album. All this is all mixtape, no official album, you know. And they made damn sure of that. Then, and number two, and which is more important, he went to jail. Had he not went to jail, he would have came out with an album, hands down. I mean, it's no way you would have been able to deny him. I'm not saying he would have been one of the greatest rappers or anything like that now. I'm just saying he would have been able to actually make a decent mark and get credit for some of the things he done for music. Whether you like it or not, I mean, it's still a contribution, you know. Back when you was hearing some of those earlier Drake albums, you know, this is all in that same time period. So it's people like Max B who kind of help you get accustomed to that type of sound. You know, and then prior to that, you go to Bone Thugs and Do or Die and those people. But I'm just saying, in those 2000s, those middle 2000 areas, like 7, 8, 9, all that, it was really more like Max B who was getting you guys prepared for those type of artists. And whether you knew it or not, that's what was going on. And they were getting that sound out there. A lot of people wouldn't know that. They didn't, if you didn't listen to, you know, the mixtapes. And back, I forgot the name. It used to be a website. I forgot the website. But they had like all the mixtapes on there. You just, like mixtape heaven, you know. I want to say like Dat Piff or something like that. But, you know, it was heavy on the mixtapes. And Max B was a big thing on that. That's a couple of songs that I actually like from Max B. I mean, he got so much. He got so much music, man. It's like it doesn't really even make sense how much music he actually has for him not to really have an official album. I mean, we're talking like thousands of songs, and I'm not talking like you know, they just keep making the same song, different beat, or using the same verse or anything like that. No, he has all of these songs, and it's crazy. It's like, it doesn't make sense. You know, people sit here and they say, hey, you know, podcast this, podcast that, and I'm like, yeah, Max B has all that shit too. And I'm not comparing the two like that. I'm just saying, when you talk about a work ethic, he definitely had a work ethic, and pretty much unmatched. And honestly, I think if Max B and Jim Jones, if they would have been able to really coexist together like they were supposed to, that we would have heard a lot more from Jules and Jimmy and the whole Bird Gang when they switched over to that. We would have heard a lot more. But because they lost the main ingredients, which was Max B, and they tried to get other niggas to sing and shit like that, and it didn't work because they didn't have that sound, you know. And it's definitely, I mean, Look at this. It's like this dude got songs, like songs on songs on songs on songs.
DJ Plus, your favorite supplier.
Now, I'm not saying this is good rap music. That's not what I'm saying. So don't get it misunderstood like I'm saying, like, he's the greatest rap. I'm not even saying it's good music, period. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he had a lot of music. He had a large body of work, and his music definitely changed rap, and it's definitely the reason why your artists like Drake and those type of guys were able to transition and go mainstream, because on this circuit, because they was doing the mixtape shit too, but when you got a guy like Max B that, for one, he did do some stuff with mainstream artists, but he has so much of that material, and he was getting your ear accustomed to that, you know, where once you had somebody polished and somebody that they were going to really start back, then yeah, of course they can become really established, and that's what we ended up seeing, so. But Max B he gets absolutely no credit. You wouldn't like, people don't even know. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, like, this is what I'm saying. Listen, it's so much. If you YouTube Max B and you start going down his body of work, you'll find some stuff that's good. It's not all garbage or nothing like that. He had a good sound. He had a nice flow. Had a good pattern. The titles, Wavy Crockett and all that, them titles was, in my opinion, was horrible. But but he did have some songs. Now, when we talk of, like, he doesn't have substance, whereas there's no Max B political album, or you know what I'm saying. But in a way, some of the street stories he told could definitely be used as lessons that need to be learned. So you could definitely use that, but that really wasn't his angle. That wasn't what he was out there doing. What Max B whole thing was like, Max B was more about volume, like, really wasn't about quality. It was about, if I put out enough of this shit, something got to cut. It's the numbers game, Yeah. That's it. See what I'm saying? And this is my point. Like I said, Max B, while he wasn't like this political artist like that, but he's telling sweet stories that you can learn from, you know. But he's definitely one of the most influential artists from that, like 2005 to about 2009, 10, in that area, that just never ever really got the recognition. But he is probably, I don't know who can I say is more influential than Max B from that era. It's tough. It's not really, you know, because even with Dipset and all that, which he was a part of, they wasn't doing that sound. You know, the sound he's doing is still being done. That's the thing. Like, no one's doing that Dipset shit no more. They're not doing any of those type of the old beats, the way they was you know, like the old boy style, the way Cameron flowed, all that shit is gone. Juice shit gone. No one's using that shit. They can't even use that shit. So it's kind of odd because, yeah, he didn't get on, but his music had more staying power than theirs, and that's kind of interesting, because then you start to look at, well, damn, why didn't they just put him out? Why didn't they, you know, because they was gonna make the money, but, you know, you have situations where sometimes people attitude don't get along with each other. You have conflicts and contracts, and Max B did so much shit that he wasn't getting signed off. Like he said, like, if he couldn't get permission to use the beat, fuck it, he'll still use the beat. Well, you can't put that out now because then you're gonna get sued. So this is the type of stuff that Max B was doing, and he was doing it because he like I said, he was playing a numbers game. It was about volume. He feel like, you know, it ain't gotta be all quality, but if I just keep making enough of this stuff, it's gonna catch. And he was right. It did catch. The only bad thing about it is he does not get the credit for it at all. And me personally, I think it's wrong only because I understand what he did. I listened to it. I wouldn't say I was a big fan, but I like some of his stuff. You know, I would definitely say he's, you know, I can't say he's the father of that style, because like I said, even that's first of the month. He's using Bone stuff. So there were people before him. There wasn't really solo artists doing that. So, you know, he kind of was the first solo artist that started coming off like that. And just the way he carried himself, you know, even trying to be fashion forward, you know, and that's when you start getting the ASAP influence and this like that. And even on ASAP Rocky's last album, his latest one rather, where he got a song about Max B on there, you know, and because if you really are into the music, you can't deny the impact that Max B had. I ain't saying you gotta like him. I ain't saying his shit was dope in any kind of way, but you gotta respect the impact, because all these artists you see right now, I don't care. You can go to Cole, Kendrick, you can go all of these dudes, and I promise you, all of these dudes was influenced by what Max B was doing. And you can go back and listen to their mixtape, and you'll hear Max B in their shit. You'll hear it. So it's not like you have to make it up, because it's there. The evidence is there, you know. And that's why I kind of just wanted to do, you know, I was just sitting back kind of thinking, I'm like, damn, you know, why nobody talk about Max B? Like he don't get no credit. So I said, you know what, let me throw a little something out here for Max B. You know what I mean? Yeah, what he did was stupid. Check this one out. Now, y'all remember Pac had a song, right? Before Pac, he had the song called What You Won't Do for Love, right? Okay. Listen. So, the first song was What You Won't Do for Love. You tried every day, but you don't give up, right? Okay, cool. You know that the song Then Pac did What You Wanna Do for Love. Okay, so what you think Bigavelli gonna do? Let's hear what Bigavelli did. Max B, listen to this shit. Everything. Ooh. See, like, you can't deny that shit. That's clever. How many people was doing that? Let's just listen to this. Let's listen to the hook again. This is Max B, man. You gotta. Chris Montana. You know what I'm saying? And this is the type of stuff that Max B was doing. Okay? I mean, he would literally go in the studio. You hear all these legendary tales, right? That people will go in the studio. They don't have this, they don't have that, and oh, blah blah, my album came up. But you rarely see it. You hear it, but you rarely see it. This dude was actually doing that. Like, he was really going into the studio, right? And it's like, I'm gonna tell you a story. I was told that they're literally like going into the studio. Dude, see, like, I'm gonna try to find that the song too. It's like a bubblegum rapper, like an actual rapper, right? Like, bubblegum, stick a gun rapper. He sees it, boom, let's make a song about it. And it's like, damn, are you serious? That's what Max B was doing. Now, I'm not saying that shit was brilliant, but what I am saying is he had a crazy work ethic. He did. I mean, like I said, if you YouTube Max B, you can't deny the work ethic. I mean, it's just there. It's just there. I mean, we can keep going and going and going and going with Max B. I just kind of feel like, a lot of people just didn't give him the credit he deserved. That's how I feel. And definitely, when it comes to French, French did hoard himself all over the place now. When really he wouldn't have been shit without Max B. Let me see. Here's one of his more known tracks. Blow Me a Dub. This is one of his, like.
Once again, the mixtape this week is going to premiere on the internet. It's going to be in stores. Shout out to DJ Lazy K. Yeah. Okay. And I guess videos. You shooting any videos too?
Yeah, I got the Blow Me a Dub video out right now. I'm joining at like 800,000 views.
You just put it out. How long ago did you been out?
Like 4 days.
4 days. It's going to be on the50.com probably before the end of the night. So
I'm gonna shoot something exclusive just for y'all. The remix, y'all get the remix. I'm giving you the
but the actual video, we're gonna put it on this 50.com tonight. So yeah. We'll put it up just to warm everybody up.
Yeah, they're gonna get a chance to. They know where it came from. They're watching us live on this 50.com right here. You sponsor that thing, had that thing extra wavy. I got some ideas.
You see what I'm saying? This is what he was doing. Now this is like 2010, 11, I think at this point. Now you tell me what artists ain't got some of this in their stuff. Like really, like don't say shit if you ain't examined the person you listen to. Listen to all they shit, and I guarantee you they got Max B in this shit. Vinny Testaverde. Oh, I still win that on the team. Never know. Blow Me a Dub was like one of his bigger songs. I'm telling you, I mean, there's no reason for I just think people, especially like French, him out of all people should really be trying to like say, hey yo, we gotta kind of give Max a lot of credit for shit that's coming out, like, cause niggas is doing this shit. I got one more. Let's see. He got let's check this one out. Check this one out.
City to city. Big Toe, Jiggle Bell, Frontline, see black.
This that green. He was in there mixing shit like an engineer, putting the lines down. Yeah. I remember that shit. Waving with it around. Max B. Like I said, he's getting okay. I'm gonna stop this. I'm telling you, if you have not listened to Max B shit, like say you just heard of him, but you ain't listened to him, go listen to Max B. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you he's the best lyricist or no shit like that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am gonna tell you is this: his sound is probably the most duplicated sound in the 2000s, period. Like, all these people that took this shit, they may be doing a little different now, but go back and listen to some of their stuff in this time period. Max B was killing the mixtape circuit. I'm dead serious. And I ain't like it. I was like, damn, like every Max B song was nice. I'm not saying that. But the work ethic he had, okay, the creativity he had. Now, creativity can go all kind of ways because, what you won't do for drugs. That shit is to me, it's funny because I'm like, yo, I would not have thought about that. And if I would, it'd have been just like, say, if we just all talking and we clowning and everybody just start flowing and, I come up with a crazy hook and we just, do something like that. but I ain't putting this shit on a tape. You know what I'm saying? Max B, please, he record that shit. You're like, nah, everything's getting recorded, and that's how he was doing things. And you gotta respect that type of work ethic, cause this is what you don't see now, and it's kind of strange because this ain't that long ago, but the whole game is switched up so much. It's like, wow, you have a really, really small pocket of artists that get seen, but it's everybody's rapping now. You know, SoundCloud got everybody. You know, all this shit is everywhere, but no one's really getting noticed. Why is no one really getting noticed? Because they all saying the same shit. That's why. When a person like Max B, no one was doing this then. You wasn't hearing this. You was not hearing this then. You already know? Yeah. Very fruity, I'm very loopy. Like, okay, see, like, I'm not, like, again, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, that's just the best hip-hop quotable, right? But when you niggas say I'm very fruity, I'm very loopy, you know, Fruit Loop, this shit is funny. It's funny, it's entertaining. That's what I'm saying. And let's just be serious. Like real. First off, this is on that Domain Diego mixtape, which is probably one of the dope. Now, real talk, Domain Diego, go get that mixtape. If you can download the whole shit off YouTube, do it. Go listen to Domain Diego. He got so many cuts on that. That alone is killing people. But back to what we on. The way he's doing that. Ew, what's going on, big guy? Okay. I was just making a video real quick, trying to get my badge. Yeah, trying to get my badge. We going over Max B. They can't see me, man. We going over. You remember Max B? Remember when I used to listen to Max B? Yeah. So I had to. I gotta. And I'm to explain it to the people because I got some people in here. They like Max B, and I'm like, I'm not saying Max B was the greatest rapper. I'm not saying he had the best metaphor. I'm not saying he can sing. But what I am saying is his work ethic was unmatched. That's all I'm saying. You know. You understand what I'm saying? Like, dude, let me play this for you. Let me play this. Hold on, cause. You remember that song, What You Won't Do for Love, You Tried Everything. Okay, you saw, so you remember, okay, boom, it was a regular song, right? Then Pop came and did it, how Pop did it, right? What you won't do for love. So what you think Bigavelli gonna say? What did you, just take one guess of what Bigavelli said, what you won't do. Just one guess. You're close. The name of the song is What You Won't Do for Drugs. And he's like, what you won't do for drugs. But it's a real street story though. But it's clever. Who's thinking of that? I'm a clever person. I'm creative. I would have never thought to do that. That's all I'm saying. And apparently other millions of people didn't either because he's the only one who actually did it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what you won't do for drugs? Oh, man. I mean, oh, is it up here? I had to play it. I got you. But, yeah, man, that's like, come on, man. Y'all gotta hear that. But let me finish. I'm gonna finish this song, though. Because he getting down on this one. This is that Domain Diego, like I was saying. Bucket of iced tea. Like me, nigga, I'm 19. Ow. That's what he was doing. That's how Max B was. That, you don't understand that. Like, hold up. Take no soul up. Let's go. The text so high. Max B. Like I said, he is creative. Call him what you want. Call him stupid for going to jail. Call him whack. But you cannot call him uncreative. Dead ass. You can't do it. If you do it, then you're not creative, because you have to recognize that. I might got one more song from Max B. Because that Domain Diego, oh my gosh, he had so much on that. It was like, Jesus. And this is not I'm not, with the music, I have fun with it. I just like talking about some stuff that people usually don't, stuff that was probably slept on, things like that, and I have fun with it, So don't take any of my candor when I'm going and I'm talking on this stuff. Like, don't take that like that's a part of like my intelligence and shit like that. Okay, because that's where you be wrong, because I do other stuff, and I will incorporate more info type stuff too, so real information. But let me show you something. So we're gonna go to ASAP, right? And you're gonna listen to you're gonna hear Max B in this shit.
Okay, let's get past all the swag trap and the fashion talk. You want that taking the get to keep it in rapping talking. They rapping balls of get embarrassed, it actually happens often. You my son like my last abortion, I'm just laughing off it. I changed rappers fast and forward, yeah, I'm back and forth. You jack my style, she jack me off it. Yeah, I go back and off it. Nah, go ahead, bitch. Ain't nothing better than a pretty big forehead, bitch. Listen close, I got some shit to tell you. Motherfuckers get familiar. It's not just model bitches on my genitalia. Did azaleas from Australia, trips to Venezuela.
You see what I'm saying? This is Max B shit. You hear that sound? You hear what they're doing? This is Max B. This is 2015. That shit I just was playing from Max B was like 08 or 09, something like that. What's good? We just kind of going over Max B. We kind of going over how Max B influenced rap and why he's so underrated and don't get much credit. So that's pretty much what we're doing. So I just was playing a little bit of ASAP Rocky, so you can see the connection between ASAP and Max B. This is that Domain Diego. And like I said, I mean, look at the sound. Look at the tempo. Everything, they're in the same pocket. And it's a lot of other dudes that's rapping like that. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta get, this right here. Cool, I appreciate that. And what I'm trying to do is, like, I want people that listen to music to kind of understand what they're listening to. And a lot of people not getting the credit that they deserve. And a lot of stuff, like, I'm gonna break people's style down so y'all can really understand it. If y'all give me an artist, tell me an artist right now who you want me to break down their style. I promise you, I'll do a video, I'll dismantle any artist style. They can be the oldest artist or they can be the newest artist. I'll break down their whole shit in 30 minutes and I'll do a video on it. I'll have no problem with doing it. It's very easy. Anyone, I mean, if I don't know them, I'll go listen to some of their stuff and then I'll just do it after that. I don't have a problem with it. Because what's happening is, Let me stop this Max G. What happens a lot of times, okay. So, is that like they overseas? I'm gonna check them out. A lot of times with no, they not. Okay, cool. Cause I like a few people gave me some overseas artists, and it was cool too. But I just was wondering. No, I'm gonna check it out right now. I'm literally checking it out right now. No bullshit. They got a song called "On My Mama." You want to check that one out? Oh, you said Ruthless, huh? Okay. Let me go to that one. Because I pulled up the On My Mama song. Ruthless. Okay. I got it. Let's see what they got.
RBSOB, man, that's the game, man. Fuck you suckers, for you other niggas I ain't fucking with. A big Glock makes it been sing, nigga. High nose, swing like he on me. I don't trip off the typos. Hoes jump around with the click. I don't like those. Fuck taking breaks. I ain't stopping to the mic. Little P with the straps and his shells, nigga. Back round, talking like she ready. Then I gotta blow her back out. Real rumble, big 40 bullets packed out. Smoke make a nigga hold his ears 'cause it's that loud. Niggas on my dick around with the semi-cock, trying to live this life, but I can't. Like I'm in a box, bad little bitch. Yeah, I spin twat. She my bottom bitch. I just love when she give me time. Got the flash, you get found like Dory. Gotta chase her back.
I'm listening to it right now.
Choose to feed a high broke bitch. Can't afford me, little nigga. Big chop. What the fuck? Think I'm Norby. I ain't getting in the whip if it's not tinted. Feds trying to put a case. I am not with it. If the cat got a fee, I will not rent it. And stop talking out your mouth. I will not listen. P with the straps and his shells, nigga. Back round, talking like she ready. Then I gotta blow her back out. Take the fifth and I won't make a sound. If I hit it once, you gon' wanna go around. Nah, baby, can't take no chances. No love, ain't no romancing. My Glock hold dirty, no jamming. When I top headshots, no danger. Fuck the cops tryna shoot a nigga dead. Fuck Trump, want a nigga in the face. If I kill a cop, I'ma do life. So my lawyer beat the case. All he wanted was the bread. I'm a young, wild nigga, and we young and we reckless. I talk from the heart, somewhere hidden is a message. I don't fuck with odds, spot Glocks for investments. The pass to the homies running up there.
I'm listening to the whole shit.
My mind way different. One nigga say my name, then the crime rate different. I been bust down, ice in a watch face different. Red bottle walking, red high tech sipping. Still posted in the hood, nigga. Still sending shots right there like it's good, nigga. Got it down, bitch, and I'm good. Still going through the pain, facing cooks in the wood, nigga. Last year it was all a vision, nigga. Speaking on G, whole gang get the tripping, nigga. Speaking on Sheik, whole gang get the tripping, nigga. Speaking on me, family members get the missing, nigga. Like shit, like Christmas, nigga. Slime with a chop, same size as a midget, nigga. Old hoe, sour like lemon, nigga. Main bitch straight, what she want, she can get it, nigga. What she want, she can get it, nigga. And my mama
They
straight,
put
what
that
she
old,
want, she can get it, nigga.
that old beat in there. Lisa or some shit. That's pretty dope. Yeah, that's an old sample that they got in there. But let me ask you, if you're still there, do you think they got stand-in power? Because what I'm hearing, it's kind of catchy, but I'm not hearing nothing different though. You know what I mean? Like I'm hearing like pretty much every other artist that they came out this year. You know, they got a catchy little flow to it. I don't know, are they from the Bay? From like Oakland? Because they sound like an Oakland style type. Where are they from? They sound like a Bay Area type of group. Where they from? Yeah, it's like they are from Oakland. Okay, yeah, I can hear that. Cause okay, it's a group out. If you go back, like listen to I'll play it. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, that's that Bay Area shit. And this is some shit from 1995. I'm about to play you. Watch this. You'll be like, God damn. Watch this. This how, like, okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me get the right song. Okay. Check out this group. This is from the Bay. This is why when I heard them, I heard this.
Yeah. It's the new riders, baby. Putting it down for all the shot callers and the big ballers in the town. Feel me? Shot calling and big ballers.
To the next level in the game. Now this is from actually like 95, 96. This the Who Riders. So you pull off my shit. Little bit. The difference, like, with this group and the other group you was talking about, the content is more the same, and the tempo that they're using is like right in the same pocket. Even like when each one of them flow, they're not always in pocket, but it still sounds good. If you understand what I'm saying, like sometimes people, they're not always clicking with the right beat, right? But it still comes off good. It still has a good flow, and a lot of Bay Area rappers do that. And this is one of the original Bay Area rappers. This is the Who Riders. So like I said, when I heard them, I'm like, they gotta be from the Bay because they sound like them. NWA, their stuff was you know, the first NWA album was good, but actually the second album was better. And that's the album without Ice Cube. A lot of people don't listen to that one too much, or they just don't get talked about as much. But the second NWA album is actually better. And I'm probably gonna do something where I go over both of them, because it's a lot of things that people didn't know about NWA. Far as like Ice Cube, he didn't write all this shit. Doc wrote mostly everything. DOC from Texas, he wrote like everything on there. Cube was influential in a lot of the writing, but it was really all Doc. And on the second album, you really start to see that even more and more. So, but yeah, thanks for that one group, man. Thanks for putting me on that, because I'm gonna listen to more of their stuff, because you know, I just give people chances and critique the music or whatever. But they definitely Bay Area rappers. I heard that straight off where they was talking. It was like, that's the Bay. But this is like a legendary Bay Area group. Go look up the Who Riders, and you can't get past the Who Riders, man. Or even RBX Posse. That's another Bay Area group. But yeah, man, thanks for bringing that one up, because you get an idea of you know who you're dealing with by asking questions. So, you know what I'm saying? How do I feel about the movie? Let me see. Almost like Bay Area version of NWA. How do you feel about Bay Area? Do you feel the media overlooks them? Or of course, yes. You know why? It's a reason why, though. Okay, like, here's one of the things. Bay Area rappers and New York rappers, believe it or not, they're very, very similar. The reason why is, obviously, you know, they have a lot of the same type of transit systems and stuff like that. You know, they have subways and things of that nature, and the way it's all constructed is very similar. And you'll find a lot of New York and a lot of Bay Area rappers, they're very, very parallel. So what happened is, Bay Area rappers, some of them, like if you go back and listen to Souls of Mischief and the Funky Homo Sapien and those people, they kind of embodied that style, right? So they would really go for metaphors and punchlines and this and that, you know, being more New York, but they were from the Bay. But other Bay Area rappers, kind of like E40 and Too Short and Mac Mall and Spice One, well, they decided that we gonna go a whole different direction. This before hyphy and all that. This is where it was just straight, pretty much. It was really almost like they were LA rappers, but they did get overlooked. And the reason why they get overlooked, because some of them sound like New York rappers, and then some of them sound like straight LA rappers. And that's why I think Bay Area rappers used to get overlooked, and they still kind of had that happen to them now too. It's very, very hard to you had a small window like in 2007, you know, when hyphy music was the shit. That's when the Bay was like, okay, this is our stuff, and you couldn't deny it. But after that and before that, you really, you know, you couldn't tell, because you had Too Short, right, who was rapping about nothing but pimping. Well, Ice-T rapped about pimping, and he from LA. So, you know, you're not really going to get the difference. Then you got MC Hammer out of Oakland. He was more pop, right? Then you come with E40 later on down the line, and I would say E40, he really helped, like, really give the Bay Area a stamp. But I agree. I think the media overlooks them, but that's why I think they overlook them. I think they overlook them because it's really hard. Like, sometimes you'll hear him. Mac Dre, right, exactly. Nah, he was cool. He was cool. My favorite Bay Area rapper is Spice One. Like, I love Spice One music, the Murder Show and all that shit. Trigger Has No Heart. Hands down, I'll go with Spice One, and then I like Mac Mall. And we just talking about Bay Area rappers. I like Spice One, Mac Mall. Of course, I like E40. I like their whole camp. You know, Too Short. You know, he had his lane. The Loonies, they had theirs. I like Souls of Mischief, 93 and Teal. I'm gonna play that one so you kind of get an idea of what I'm saying. I'll play that one real quick. See. I don't know. It's kind of low. I didn't. Let me see if I can find something that's a little louder, because I can't really hear it. There we go.
Yo, what's up? This is Tajay of the Mighty Souls of Mischief crew. I'm chilling with my man Festo, my man A Plus, and my man Oak. You know he's dope.
Now
now, you know, we're just maxing in the studio. We're hailing from East Oakland, California, and sometimes it gets a little hectic out there.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, you know, we gonna help you on how we just chill.
Dollar 7 digits, call us Bridget, her man's a midget. Plus he got friends, yo, I can dig it. Here's a 40 swinging, you know it's frigid. I got him chilling in the cooler, break out the ruler.
Right.
That's the baddest song I ever seen. The weather's heating, Cali getting weeded, makes it feel like Maui. Now we feel the good vibrations.
So many females, so much inspiration.
Inspired by the blood suit, I'll front you. You hang with the punk crew. I roam the strip for bones to pick. What I find when an iron gun, take her home and quickly do this. I need not explain this. A Plus is famous.
Like, see this group right here, Souls of Mischief. Like, at that time, you wouldn't know they were from the Bay. You know, you wouldn't know they was from the Bay because they have more of a New York sound. No, I haven't. I check him out. I haven't heard him. I'm gonna put him in there right now. Let's see what he got. But I'm just showing you some of the difference in Bay Area rappers, and that's why I think the media overlooks them, because they're kind of hard. You know, you may hear a guy and he sounds like a New Yorker, but he's from the Bay. Or you may hear a guy, he sounds like he a West Coast, like straight LA, but he's from the Bay. So that's why I think the Bay Area get overlooked a lot in the media, because it's just really hard to tell. Alright, let's see what we got. Did he remix that or something? Okay. Let's see, let's listen to it.
used to think that the devil was like a brother to me. That was until I felt the pain of my mother and me. I fell in love with hugging me. He couldn't get enough of them streets.
I like this. I like this.
Held a grudge on my sleeve, chip on my shoulder. Looking right in the eye of the beholder. Though it's freezing already. Seems every night is getting colder. Dear God, tell me why everyone got flaws but you. And if I don't feel no man, why should I be opposed to you? When I got my back against the wall, that's how these scars was true. But being the enemy of you, well, that's so hard to do. So I'm confused. Cause Father, I no longer know what side I'm on. Fuck everybody, this time I want.
And you see what I'm saying? Like that right there is kind of tough. You know, if I was just to hear that, I would say, damn, I wouldn't just guess he was from the Bay. I wouldn't guess he was a Bay Area rapper. You know what I mean? And I think that's what happens to a lot of the Bay Area rappers. Like I said, they don't have that distinct sound like they used to. Even though this one is very close to it, this kind of, his style to me sounds a little bit like Mac Mall. I don't know if you know who Mac Mall is, but he has that more laid back style. He did a song called like Welcome to the Ghetto, a lot of stuff. And but if you listen to Mac Mall, like you can clearly hear influence. But that's what I'm saying. It's kind of difficult to see that with Bay Area rappers. It's just tough, and I think that's why they get overlooked. I really do. And it's unfortunate because they have such a good mix. You know, they got in the Bay. You got people who can go punchline for punchline, but then you got great storytellers in the Bay. You know what I'm saying? And they all get overlooked. They get overlooked. Like even fucking Rapping Forte, you know, from San Jose. I mean, he can get down, but you know, people overlook him. It happens all day long. You know, all day long. With Bay Area rappers, they always got overlooked. I always feel it that way. And it's unfortunate because it's a lot more talent out there than what people actually know. You know, they gotta come with a situation where they gotta just, I don't know, they gotta create something where their sound is so, like when they did Hyphy, when we was doing that, like you knew that was the Bay. But come on, you can't keep hearing the same shit over and over, right? They gotta find some other way to be real distinctive. Cause even with the dressing, you know, you had some people in the Bay with the dreads, some people with braids, and you know, they all over the place. So I think it's hard to identify. And as a consumer of music, you like, damn, well, what am I getting? You know, and it makes it hard. You know, you want to make it simple for people to get who you are. You know. The rhymes and stuff can be complex and everything, but you want people to be able to recognize you easily so they can say, okay, cool, I like that, you know, and then they'll listen to it. But if it's difficult to even identify with the artist, a lot of people won't even listen at all, you know, unfortunately, and they miss out on a lot of good music because of that. And it's just basic little stuff, just being able to identify with an artist, you know. And that goes on a lot, especially now because, I mean, you got so much music out now, right? Everybody got an album if they want one, right? Everybody got an album, a YouTube channel, a mixtape, and fucking all the software with all the beats and everything. So the main thing is, how can I, as an artist, become easily identified? And that's the key. And a person like Max B, that's why I decided to talk about Max B, because Max B, his work ethic is what got him in that position. His work ethic is what made his sound influence almost everything we hear now. You know, and it was easy. Like when you heard Max B, you knew you were going to get certain type of music. You knew that. You understand what I'm saying? So, and that's where and I think any artist, you got to know what you are. You know, you can't be a dread one week and a ball, and then you banging next week, and now you sipping shit this week. You know, I'm not saying limit yourself to as far as the bars or anything like that, but when it comes to identifying yourself and a person can see who you are and start to build a relationship with you musically, make it as easy as possible. If you want to stay regional, then cool. Just fuck with the regional sound and be straight. You know, because it's like a lot of people from like, was it Mozzie or some shit from Sacramento. You know, he was real popular a couple of years back. You know, but it's just got to be easy for people to get into it. That's the main thing you got to do. Make that shit easy. Don't be like this great mystery, because then nobody, you gonna end up like fucking Jay Electronica. You know. What we see? What we talk about? Ah, man. You know, it's tough, man. It's tough, cause I try to embrace all music, right? I try to at least give it all a chance. But some of it just don't sound good, you know, and that's with any genre in any music. But I think it's like any other wave, you know. It's like any other wave. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna go. You're gonna have a lot of people that get lost in it, and then you're gonna have a few people that know how to jump off that shit before it get played. And that's the key. Like, the one person who I see that, in my opinion, who has mastered riding waves is, I mean, Drake rides every fucking wave that comes out. You know what I mean? It don't matter what it is. He rides the wave, and then he know to jump off right before, you know, the shit get played out. Like, he's mastered that shit. And possibly because he don't write none of that shit, so it's easier to do that. But he's probably the only person I've ever seen able to do that. And when we going into these different types of movements of music, to me that's the main thing you gotta worry about. Like, I like some of that stuff, but if I'm rapping that, like, you gotta know when to get off that shit, cause you'll get lost. You be like, well, what was it like 2008, and you know what, they're making like all these fucking snap songs, right? Where are any of those people now? Nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Thanks. Cool. You know, and a lot of those people, they don't know how to, you know, get off the wave. But as far as the trap music, you know, I like some of it. But to me, like, I like Pusha T, and he not really that style, but I ain't gonna lie to you, some of the coke metaphors that Pusha T comes out with, I don't know where he's getting this shit from, but I have never heard one rapper be able to do so many different metaphors about crack. It's ridiculous. And for that alone, I like Pusha. As far as any other newer stuff in that, I haven't listened to a lot of it. Some of the stuff I do, I try to listen to Yachty and all that other shit, man, and it's cool, but some of it, man, I can't. You can be too off the wall. Like I don't know if you listen to Our Future, right? Like I used to listen to a lot of their stuff, and I actually like some of their shit, like Earl Sweatshirt and all that. I like a lot of their shit, but like, niggas gotta know when to come bring it in a little bit. Like, you don't need to be that far off the deep end. Like, I get it, like, be different, but, you know, shit, I gotta relate to you too. And I ain't on LSD all day, so I'm not gonna sit here and be on that, you know. So yeah, man, I think as far as with that, the trap music, and it's like every other genre, man. It's gonna come and it's gonna go. Anybody that's rapping and they in that, ride it and jump off that shit quick. Like, if you can get a hot single out of it or whatever, do that, and then establish your other shit. Cause that's, to me, that's what I think is the smartest thing to do. Like, you can find something that everybody is doing, right? And you say, boom, you put that out, just as a single, like boom, I'm getting introduced with that. But you're not showing your whole package, right? You're not showing like what you really are about, but you're getting the attention. So when I have different genres like that come within rap, I advise people to use it like that. Just use it to introduce yourself, and then once a person hear that, then they go listen to your shit, and they like, whoa, this dude got all kind of shit. So yeah, but I like some of it. You know, it's like everything else. But yeah, and thanks for the questions too, man, because we went. This was gonna be a little short video because I usually do this at night at 10 o'clock. It's like late night hype, kind of like how they used to do it on the radio, late night hype, where I can play like all kind of shit, right? So, but I decided I had to give my man Max B some play. You see what I'm saying? This is that shit right there. Let's see with the text. So, and like I said, like when we talking about like that trap music, this is Max B was doing that type of shit already. This is what I'm saying. Like in a lot of stuff we hear now, you're gonna hear Max B in that shit, but nobody is saying that. No one's saying that. But they using Max B shit. You know, that's how the game is though. But definitely I appreciate the input. For real. I'm gonna let this ride out. But tonight, when I do the show, unless I get some other suggestions, I'm gonna do some comparing different artists, break them down, and let people decide who can really get down. You know, like this whole Kendrick Lamar thing. I promise you. When I start dissecting them, it's over. It's over. I'm on the West, so it's gonna be like 10 o'clock tonight, maybe 10:30. You know, Pacific Standard Time. So I'll be on there at that time. I was gonna do it last night, but I got caught up. I didn't do it, but I'm doing it tonight. So for sure. I don't know if you checked out the first episode. We broke down some female rappers that was battling, and what I like to do is I'll show the older rappers, and then work your way up, just so you get a full understanding of the whole genre. Because what ends up happening is you get young dudes don't want to listen to old shit, old dudes don't want to listen to young shit, and then they just don't mix. But then when you start learning both of them, you can enjoy it all. So that's what I try to do. I bring it all. Like, I don't listen to no Curtis Blow or no shit like that, or shooting basketball and all that. I'm not playing that shit. But I'm not gonna play none of that. But I get into like just most of the 90s, maybe late 80s. I'm not gonna play my Adidas. I might play my Adidas just because I got a good friend from the Bronx, and we got this thing going on where everybody say rap started in the Bronx, right? Okay, cool. Now, honestly, you can't really say that. Yeah, maybe the first person that got signed was from those areas. Maybe it was commercialized from that area. But they swear up and down rappers from the Bronx, right? So I'm just waiting on him, cause we'll go head to head and debate on that, and it's gonna be pretty fun because I got a lot of shit. I already know what I'm gonna say, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, tonight we're gonna break down some other rappers. What I kind of want to go, I want to do some stuff with Lupe. I want to do Lupe. I want to do Ab Soul, and I don't know, maybe one more. I might do 3 MCs tonight, break them down, see what people think. Because Lupe Fiasco, in my opinion, Lupe Fiasco, #1 MC, hands down. And I challenge anybody to put a song up, put a verse up, put an artist up, and then we can play it and see who good. That's the fun part about listening to music. I like Schoolboy Q. I like Q. I like Q. But you know what? You know what? I think Q. Remember, he came out with the song last summer. He did this song with Kanye that was like his single, right? And we didn't really hear much after that. I don't think Cube has the same. I don't think he has the same interest in music no more. It kind of seemed like he's dialed back. But that whole black hippie camp, you know what I mean? Yeah, that part, that was last summer, you know. And I liked the song, but it didn't push the album. I think what's happening, here's what I personally think is happening. Kendrick is getting so big that Schoolboy, Ab, J-Rock, and the other dude, I don't even know this nigga's name. I forgot his name. Like, no one cares about their group anymore. It's like it's just Kendrick, and that's bullshit. Cause Ab can get, I'm gonna tell you, Ab can get in Kendrick's ass easy, absolute easy. So, yeah, exactly, exactly, and you know, it's funny because that happens a lot throughout history in music. Like, you had old groups like you had a group called the Def Squad, like with Keith Murray and Redman and Eric Sherman. And what'll happen is one person to get so big, and you'll just start losing everybody else. Same thing happened with Wu. You know, like Method Man is the most commercial artist on the Clan, but you know, you got like 50 other niggas. You know, so. And everybody wasn't buying Liquid Swords and all that shit. And it was dope albums, but nobody was listening to that shit. You know, like, come on, who's listening to the Killer Bees and all that? I mean, I did. I listened to the Grave Diggers too, but nobody ain't trying to hear that shit. They wanted to hear Raekwon. They wanted to hear Ghost. They wanted to hear Meth. You know, that was it. And then you had RZA, because he was mixing everything. But Capadonna was dope, and I forgot Jizzle, whatever the fuck his name is. He was hard. He the one who did Liquid Sword. So it always happens like that. It always happens. But this Kendrick shit, I promise you, when I go in on Kendrick, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It ain't nothing against him, but here's the thing. Do I think Joey Badass get overlooked compared to Kendrick? I wouldn't say he get overlooked. It's just, I mean, you gotta understand, Kendrick, he was just in the White House. You know what I mean? With Obama. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, on a music level, it's not, you can't really compare it. There's no way commercially, you know, I can say Joey Badass is getting overlooked because of him, because they're not really in the same plane, you know what I mean? Like, they're just not really on the same level commercially. Now, lyrically, that's a different conversation. Yes, lyrically, he's getting overlooked 100%. And that, it ain't just with Kendrick. With J. Cole, he's getting overlooked. J. Cole too, because J. Cole ain't I like the last album, but come on, how many times you gonna talk about having sex for the first time and people think it's dope? He did that shit on his first album, you know. But hey, I don't know. But yeah, like lyrically, I do think he gets overlooked, but commercially, because they're not really even marketed the same in any way, I can't say it on that level. But if we go bar for bar, yeah, he's getting overlooked. Los is getting overlooked. All these motherfuckers is getting overlooked. You know, when we start going bar for bar, you know, that's just what it is. Commercially though, if your label not pushing you, what can you do? You know, because it's like nowadays, they want you to do all the work, and they still get more of the percentage. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of messed up. There's no more artist development. None of that shit's happening anymore. And it's just getting all fucked up, you know. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it. But 10:30 tonight. Thank you for all your questions. And man, I got a few artists that you put me on. I'm gonna listen to some of their stuff from the Bay, and I'll be in tonight. That's pretty much it. Peace. Have a good day.